Walk me out, they laid a big smile on handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the
Hold
script.
on,
We
wait.
got some shooters. Pow. It's off the hip. Yeah. Oh, chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out, they rain a big smile on handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters. Pow. It's off the hip. Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight. Whether it's in the
What it
bloodline
do,
or
y'all?
me, I get rid of big smile. Handcuffed by
Come on now.
Hold on, wait. We got some shooters.
What's the word, y'all? This is Off the Hip, April 4th, 2026, man. Hope everybody feeling great out there. It's your boy HD the King, aka Wallace Frazier. And you know I got my brothers with me. I got my brother Streets. I got my brother Razor. What's the word, gentlemen?
Man, kicking it like socks and shoes, Brodowski. What's up with y'all, man? I see my man Razor's on the go. Always.
We're traveling through multiverse right now, gentlemen. You see what had happened was after my remarks of Mr. Danhouse on this past episode of Raw, I'm in some sort of time capsule. So if I'm coming and going, trust me, I'm working on it. We'll be back soon, but I'm here.
Well, I love to hear it. We love to have you here while you on the move. Drive safely while we get this business done. Because tonight, we had Friday Night Smackdown inseminating out of St. Louis, Missouri. The home of the Viper, Randy Orton. So now, let me just give you guys out there and girls in the community a little recap of what happened last week on Monday. We had Stephanie McMahon come out and Cody were in the ring together. She slapped Cody as she's leaving. Cody grabs her arm. So my immediate thoughts today is, are we going to see Stephanie McMahon? I'm not sure. But to open up the show, let's get to it. We got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare himself, coming out. I'm sitting there like, oh, they starting to giving us business. They're about to get the bigger business real soon. And then, like, I'm not sure why things took the turn that they turned. Like, everything took a weird turn for me because now we see Randy Orton out there cutting his promo. Cody comes out. But then here's the twist for me. When Pat McAfee gets involved. That's right, chat. Pat McAfee? I need y'all immediate thought. I need to know what's the first thoughts that came to mind, Streets, when you seen Pat McAfee enter the ring and give this man a low blow, kick him in the balls. Like, what was all of that about, man?
I think the first thing that I was wondering was what everybody else was wondering, and that was, why is everybody in Gorilla circle jerking? I don't know. He came out real strong. I was surprised to see him, but also surprised to see him as a heel. It was a cool take. What about you, Razor? What are your thoughts on this, man? Razor's not there. Okay, well, to continue what I was saying, I felt like he was trying to speak to a certain type of fan, and I might have fell under that category of fan he was addressing. But nonetheless, it was a weird interaction to see him out there tonight, getting involved. I did not think that was who Randy was on the phone with. I thought he might have been on the phone with, Stephanie, maybe even Triple H. But to my surprise, it was Pat McAfee. What are your thoughts, HD? When you
I was taken back, surprised, shocked. I had a whole bunch of different range of emotion because at the same time, I do love this look for Pat McAfee. I do feel it's a fresh coat of paint. But I'm going to be honest, one thing it's like I don't need from this situation is a repeat of Travis Scott situation. I don't need you to just come around for WrestleMania season. I don't need you acting like Seth Rollins on your podcast and telling us, well, you know what? I think the wrestling business has passed me by. Throwing a fake out there like, well, maybe Pat McAfee's done. And then, oh, by the way, I don't want to be too scattered because we are talking about the opening of the show. But later on, if you look at Pat McAfee's Twitter, did you see what he had to say?
I didn't. What did he say? I didn't hear it. I didn't see it.
If Randy Orton fails to beat Cody Rhodes, we would no longer hear from or see Pat McAfee. So there's a big possibility if Randy does not win this match, this could be Pat McAfee's send off. We could be seeing a Pat McAfee retirement
Banishment.
tour.
Wow. Strong words. Very, very strong words. So,
And again, not to spend too much time harping on this moment, because we could always make a separate segment on sidebar. But
nice.
I just felt like, what's the point of involving Pat McAfee as the person on the phone? I feel like there's no relevant. I feel like almost every wrestling fan went to people that were important to wrestling, to lineage of wrestling, that have a fam. And this reveal, I'm sorry, like the reveal's kind of been a little, I don't know what's the right word, but they've been a little lackluster, for lack of better words, in terms of when we got the Masked Man with Austin Theory a few months ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get more masked men and more masked men. And now we got a phone call. It's like these reveals, they, I'm not sure how to feel about them, honestly. But I do say this to put a tie on my thoughts. I did enjoy the fact that Pat McAfee did look rejuvenated in his role. Dare I say, like, I like how he was talking on the microphone. Like, I wrote to you guys immediately. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think he got potential to be a great heel manager. Like, I started thinking Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the
Mm-hmm.
South, and a heel Jimmy Hart, right? Like,
Yeah. No,
when,
for
when
sure.
nobody, like, he's yelling on the megaphone.
Oh yeah.
So I think for that it'll work its purpose. Now that I've mentioned that to you about him, if Randy loses, he's gone. Do you think that's the right move, Streets, for them to put that on social media this soon? Like,
Yes. Yeah. I do.
it's the wrong
Um.
move?
No, I think it's the right move. You put
Right
on there
move.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you strike when the iron's hot. While everybody is still in shock about what happened. That's when you do it. You got to play into the story. WWE is very, very good at what they do. So it was no coincidence that tweet went up as fast as it did. But he spoke to a lot of people. Because how many times have we talked and we said, hey man, I feel like this is kind of getting soft. Like what are they doing, bro? Where's the action? You guys are recycling matches and it just doesn't feel like it used to. It used to be, more attitude, and maybe that's why he was addressing the attitude there, and it was just a, cool little throwback to some of the stuff he was saying that, he's used to even saying, if you can smell what the pat is cooking. He was coming through, dropping some gems and saying some things that made the crowd, kind of think because were they really booing him? Because when he left the ring, it seemed like they was kind of behind what he was doing. And that would be a perfect way to flip Cody
I
and
just
to
feel like
turn him heel.
the initial reaction that he got was a weird one to me. I feel like the crowd didn't react at all. Like, they didn't boo nor cheer. And like you said, the more the promos going and the more time is spent, it's like the crowd is trying to figure out, okay, which side do I exactly
Yeah,
get on?
that's perfect. That's what they
You
do.
know?
They split their crowd up like, well, wait a minute. I have been here. Think about all the fans who've been riding with Randy Orton. Now you got a lot of new people who are riding with Cody. So you kind of got to split them up and say, hey, look, I grew up with Randy. We grew up on the DX, on the suckets, and the can you smell what the Rock is cooking, and the what, what. So he definitely did a good job of reaching the fans who grew up in that era. And it definitely did make you, like you said, feel like you have to choose. Like, wait a minute, do I like this or do I not? Because I'm undecided. Like, wait a minute. And the only way you would be undecided is if some of that stuff he was saying was truth.
Mm.
What do you think about
Razor,
that?
yeah, right. I mean, well, before we get to you, Razor, I think like he was definitely hitting some key topic points. He was making valid points about it feels like we're in a different era. This era doesn't feel like the era that he grew up on, that he loves. And I think that resonated with some of the older fans in the crowd. They're like, okay, let's not boo him just yet. But I think for me, it's completely just like out of left field for him, for Pat McAfee to be the one doing it. Like even down to the phone call, like why would Randy call Pat McAfee of all people? Like what deep relationship have I seen on screen for Pat McAfee and Cody to be having? Like that this is significant of a turn of I think that's kind of why the crowd was a bit stale. But all in all, though, it does make me a bit interested in to see what the next few weeks leading up into WrestleMania, even WrestleMania night itself, what it has in store. Because I think Randy Orton wins, we have another Cena situation where he won with the help of somebody against Cody Rhodes. It's almost like just insert different talent.
Well, is that enough to make Cody flip or Cody turn heel? Because one thing he said was, "You're making the business you're leading look terrible.
Hmm.
The way you're leading the business is terrible, and he is going to save it." So maybe by him snaking Cody, so to say, with Randy snaking Cody, it might turn him into a heel. Cody might, be better off that way. And that may be what saves the business ultimately, whether we see it right now or not.
And we'll just have to wait and see it. And Razor, we didn't get to get your thoughts. You was kind of in and out. You want to touch on that? Your thoughts of the opening promo between Randy, the interference from Pat McAfee there. We got Razor.
I'll
Razor,
keep
where you
it
at?
very brisk, but I don't. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they hated it or if they were just confused. Yeah, Pat was kind of cooking with the reminiscing of the Attitude Era, but all people, I guess, why Pat? And I, I don't know if these next 2 weeks is going to be enough to kind of figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, we may be on a collision course similar to what we saw with Rock and Travis Scott not too long ago. So, buckle up, kids.
And I wanted to, cause I was saying this right before we got on. I know we're already 13 minutes in. Um, I just feel like I don't want that to be like you just mentioned, Razor, the repeat. We don't need four people attacking Cody Rhodes to beat him. We don't need that.
Nope,
We didn't need it last year when Travis Scott came down to interfere. And I personally feel like I was looking forward to just Randy and Cody by themselves. I thought it was going to be just like a
that's all
single
it needed.
clean. That's all it needed. And
Nothing
now
else.
it's yeah, it seemed like we're heading in a different direction from that. We have Cena as the host. Does I mean I just don't want to jump too far ahead. Like I said, we 13 minutes in, but we got Cena as the host. Could Cena rewrite something from last year that he did wrong towards Cody? Maybe help him in this obstacle course that he's got in front of him with Pat McAfee
Well, I
being
wouldn't even
there.
touch it.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much long on it, but those are just the thoughts that was in my head. I thought SmackDown kind of started off a little slow this evening. Like right after this segment, we get into Rhea Ripley and Meechin. Now, this is carrying over from last week, but I just feel like I didn't need this match, honestly. And I get the purpose of it was to bring out Io Sky and basically align her with Rhea Ripley. So now it's like, okay, we got Jade and her group of girls, B Fab and Meechin versus Rhea and Io, but I kind of felt like this was just I could have did without this matchup for the evening, to be honest. What say you, Streets?
I think that they're just setting the stage for Bianca Belair's return.
Mm,
They're down one female in the group. It's still 3-on-2. You don't know who can come out and really help them at this moment because all the other women are in tag team matches. So either you bring somebody up like a Jada Parker, from NXT, or you set the stage for Bianca Belair to come back, and then you have a feud with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill,
I
which
love
will
that.
which will sell out. You have it at the next WrestleMania, wherever you have it, maybe even at Backlash. But that might be a better option too. Maybe having it at Backlash or setting up something for SummerSlam, which would be
Now,
Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. Wow.
correct me
Well,
if I'm wrong here, bro. This is where I don't like continuity. Like, I think I need to just chat. Y'all let me know. Should I just throw away continuity? Because I think that's what affects how I watch wrestling programming. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bianca Belair broke her finger in a match with Io Scott and Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Sidelined in a match with these two women that, if y'all setting the table for her to come back, what did Jade Cargill do wrong to Bianca? Other than look at her like you was
maybe the
taking Naomi's side. Bianca Belair was taking Naomi's side. Oh, I don't think she could have done this. I don't think she could have done this.
She's our friend.
So I wish I love the idea. Don't get me wrong, Streets. I love the idea, the setting of the table. I think it's the perfect play scenario. I just wish they would have did more between Jade and Bianca in that time period to really plant the seeds of like there's some real disdain, some hatred. They're not on the same page. It
Well,
was just it
what?
was Naomi. It was Naomi.
Yeah, but now
Hey,
Jade
Amethyst.
has taken up a new heel persona.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas Bianca is still a babyface,
Right.
or she comes back and completely shocks the world and s- also becomes a heel. Hit somebody with a swerve.
Mm.
Also becomes a heel.
Oh man, thank you for saying. I
Jade
would
keeps
love
the
that. I would love
title,
that too.
screws over Rhea Ripley. You have something really crazy going on there. Right when
and
like it's
and that
almost
would
like
be all fine and dandy.
the Hulk Hogan effect. He's coming to save us. He's the last man down. The music hits, but then he turns and it just what? Like, oh my God. You guys gotta remember, this is WrestleMania. You gotta blow the roof off this
I
mother.
agree. I agree.
So, they're
I
gonna
like
have
that
some
move. And my
crazy
fault, Razor. I know you wanted to say something. I actually
moments.
like that, Streets, because it wouldn't be the first four-woman faction. We seen it with Damage Control when it was Bailey, Oscar, Io Sky, Dakota Kai over there, and it worked perfectly fine for them.
Yeah, yeah,
And maybe like, imagine that, like Jay
yeah,
Cargill with the women's heavyweight championship, Bianca Belair comes back and gets the U.S. belt.
yeah. Like it can go crazy. And you
Ooh,
see a lot of WWE putting factions together, even, not to get too far into it, but the MFT saying, hey, we need to go after more gold. What did, same thing with Dom. And
I'm gonna be
when he
honest.
was,
We could just jump right into that. Honestly, now I'm gonna be real, cause Chad, we like to do things right around here. So the only other things that happened was Aleister Black and Matt Cardona setting up their match for later on in the evening. Jacob having his filmed vignette touching on what he's gonna do to Drew McIntyre, and Solo also cut a backstage promo. So I feel you right on topic. Streets, we can head over to what's going on with Tama, with Uncle Howdy, and the backstage promo because
yes, sir.
Uncle Howdy ultimately beat Tama. Tama chose to go into that match solo. He didn't want to have help from nobody. Solo comes out, causes the interference anyway, and it causes the loss for Tama Tonga. Uncle Howdy is now in possession of the lantern again. So now it brings me to this backstage. I'm with you. Let's get more belts and championships. Razor, what you felt about everything that transpired between the MFT tonight and Uncle Howdy, and even amongst themselves in the MFT group?
Man, oh man, oh man. With all due respect, Solo, Tama came in with one question respectfully. Why this? Well, we could be chasing gold. Why are we worried about them and their little stuff? Well, we could be just chasing the belts, chasing the bag. What Solo do? Go defend the lantern. And not only you say go defend it alone. And then during the match, you get in his way and you cost him the match. So again, Solo, what are we doing? Come
Mm,
on now.
I
Just
got some thoughts about that
but
too.
what the kicker was again as they're dispersing, we saw that very similar gaze in Solo's eye that we've seen in similar instances amongst him and another member of the family as well. What could that mean?
Mm. I want to hear Street's opinion on this because I know right before we went live, he had some thoughts, and I'm like, we might be on to something there.
Yeah, man. To be honest, he was right about going for the goal, but I feel like when I saw this, I felt like they're breaking up. They're gonna break up the MFTs. They're gonna break up the MFTs, and whenever they do this, they usually bring in someone new. And I think right here is where they, I don't know, I could be wrong, but insert Zilla Fatu and or
Can I raise my hand?
Razor's only Journey Fatu. So yeah, give me your thoughts on that, gentlemen.
I'll let Razor take it. He want to raise his hand.
Real quick, I'm gonna just real quick, one line that we've heard again.
It's break. I don't want to cut you off, Razor. It's breaking up just a bit. It's breaking up just a bit, Razor. We gonna need you to repeat that if you
Yeah.
don't mind, my brother. Pardon the technical difficulties, folks. He's doing a amazing job tapping in with us while he's on the road right now. So thank you for bearing with us. You know we don't usually go through these type of issues, and to me it's not even an issue. The brother's on the show. We here. You know what I'm saying? Like we
We're
are
here.
here. We are here. But you know, until he gets back though, I do feel like one thing that stood out to me, and this is kind of like piggyback on what you saying. I noticed once Tom Matunga said we need to focus on getting the belts back. Solo, Solo does this funny thing that like I equate like he's like he got like a New York soul in him. Cause he did this slick talk to Tamatunga, which is like, yeah, we could do that after we done with the Wyatts. So I heard him. Hold on, but you still want to fight the Wyatts after y'all already gave them back the lantern? Like it should be already done. What other match needs to take place between the MFTs and the Wyatt? Like what possible? Honestly, and I'm not even trying to be the dead horse. I feel like we've seen every kind of match we could with them. We seen what's her name, Nikki Cross. She was in the match,
What?
and we seen a 6-man match, a
What?
4-man match,
What?
a tag team match,
What?
What?
a singles match,
What?
a solo match that turned into a timer match. Like,
But
come
not a
on.
Firefly Funhouse match.
Boy, that'd be something. Listen, and I don't, I don't like to cross brand things here, but I'd like to give a shout out to JCW. They got the fun house stuff going on over there, and in AAA they got the clown house stuff going on over there. It would make sense. You are Bray Wyatt's brother now. You are Uncle Howdy. You are Bo Dallas now. Like, can we get one of those matches, please? If we're gonna do this with them, I do not want to see what should have been on Survivor Series Friday SmackDown weekend during WrestleMania season. I'm sorry. That's all I.
Or Velocity. or
Or
Sunday Night Heat.
This man, Hollow Velocity is Sunday Night Heat. I'm crying.
like I love you. I actually love your proposition, but I would want Zilla to actually line up with Jacob Fatu because they was cooking on the indie scene before Jacob went over to WWE. So I would
Well,
like yeah, maybe we get there. You know, things take time. You
maybe we
know,
get there.
you
Maybe we
know.
get there.
But
Bring.
if that has to be his introduction, I'll accept. I'll accept.
I think it'll be cool, man.
Razor, you
I,
good over there with with the connection or what's up?
It
What you
seems
doing
that
tomorrow?
It seems that Mr. Danhausen don't like what I got to say. You need to leave me the hell alone.
You.
I paid for your merchandise.
All
Aw.
right.
Was that not enough?
Gosh.
No, yeah, come on now. But anyways, like I was saying, in regards to Tomlin, I'll just wrap that up real quick. Actions have consequences.
Should have always had him, right? That was the biggest line that SmackDown after WrestleMania. We remember Razor knows. That's when
Hmm.
Big Jim got kicked out. Everything started formulating. Tamatunga first appeared on SmackDown, and we just never really went back to those. That's why I asked that question earlier. Like, should I let continuity go a little bit and just enjoy the moment? Amethyst, I'm with you there too. I want to see
Depends on what
Cody
they
on Sunday
do.
night.
Yeah.
Ultimately that's my dream of the bloodline. Like I want to see them dominate to where they're all on the same page. They don't necessarily have to be on the same brand, but when one needs help, oh I got you. Say less. This is we bloodline. We one up like all the way to the sky. What do you mean? Like that's what I
What
need.
if, what if they're forming, like Razor has said before, the BWO, the Bloodline World Order? You
I
got
mean,
everybody there. You start to form it. Roman's back. You start to see everybody kind of on that tip where it's like nobody going against our family. We smash them all. If you test our family, I don't care who you are. We coming together and we're going to show you numbers. And I think over the next couple months, that may build up to a really cool Survivor Series. We're going to have to see what it all has in store.
and I think me and Razor had talked about this before. Like, there's enough talent out there, bloodline wise. And if you reference the NWO, if you remember, NWO had a PLE of their own. NWO versus WCW sold out.
You
So
hear me?
there's enough talent to have a bloodline PLE where
Hmm.
everything from top to bottom matters. We're seeing it with
Now,
Roman Reigns. He's still at the top of the food chain. The Usos, they're right there at the tag team bracket. We have the other side of the MFT. They just finished holding the tag team belts on SmackDown.
hey, even Nia
Jacob,
Jax
Nia Jax.
dominating.
It's about time we include the females, actually, too. Thank you for saying that.
And now that Naomi didn't,
Whose name is on the check?
push one out, and Naomi in there too. So you got a lot of people on that side that can go against other people. It would be a really cool thing. We might be seeing the formulation of something like that when we see a whole bloodline pay per view versus
I mean, the
the
only
rest of the
time I've ever
roster.
seen anything close to that in WWE was the corporate ministry. When Undertaker and Vince linked up and they had both hate groups come together, and it was like,
Viscera,
how are you going to stop this?
Midian.
Yeah. Viscera, rest
Yeah,
in peace, man.
that's what I
Big
said.
Daddy was
Viscera, man.
Big
Man,
Daddy P,
Midian.
man. It's my
Man,
God,
I
my
had the
dad. That
little
was
toys
amazing
when I
back
was
in
a
the day.
kid, bro. That's funny.
Nah, but these
Yeah,
are good
recipes.
points. Like I think like something I think you were saying a little bit earlier, Razor. Like they kind of it was actually you streets. They kind of overshadow Solo with everybody that comes in. So me personally, I still want to see Solo have his moment. Also, I want to see him have his like. I understand we're introducing everybody else, but he's been on SmackDown. I think he should have been in that heavyweight scene. We put Jacob there, but then they removed him quickly. Also, it just I don't know what's the. It's like they don't want to pull the trigger on certain things. Maybe they're afraid to go back to that blood. Remember when it was straight Bloodline City? Like you had like the Usos had the Raw belts and the SmackDown belts. Roman had the Raw heavyweight belt and the SmackDown belt. So is WWE afraid to like admit or to go back to a point in time where the fans might be fickle again, where the fans say, "Oh, we want this," and then they just start changing up? Like, there's got to be something here, like, because it's right there. The food is on the table. It's all written.
The problem
Like you said,
was the problem with Solo is he's been miscasted this whole time he's been there, even from the street champion gimmick. Truth be told, that's Breaker Pod too. That's the street champion right there. If you look at Solo's indie stuff, he's just another Uso. Nothing wrong with that. Just another Uso, just a different side of that. More kind of like Big Jim, of a brawler, technical guy. Let him do that. Let him show a little flash and flare, but don't have him make out to be something that he's not.
for Pete's sake, Solo's actual middle name is Yokozuna. Like, let him show that side. Let him show the
Yeah.
Yoko side, Big Ooh side. Like, I understand, they got him out here in the comedy role where he like and just look at you like you thought you was gonna
Take
say
what your
that to
daddy
me,
gave you,
right?
boy.
Like he just look at you like a silly guy, like all right. You know what I'm saying? So I would hope that the dynamic change. And actually, just to put a tie on this segment for me, and then you guys can finish your thoughts. I think Solo should have been kicked out that group so that the trend could continue a bit. And it's like, okay, Roman bringing Solo. Solo didn't kick Roman out, but firm affirmative action. This is mine's now. You take your vacations, dog. This is my shit now. That's how I felt like Solo was moving, and I feel like I'm seeing that from Tama Tonga, where he's stepping up and like, yo, bro, get him the lantern back. This ain't what we ain't out here doing nothing with this. Like, it's actually hurting us. Got us fighting against each other, bro. Like, what are we doing? So I mean, Streets, what's your last thoughts on the MFTs and what you think or where you would want to see them go from here? I know you wanted the Zilla pop in. Where you think they're in their current state?
I think they are right where they need to be. It's time to get back to business. It's time to get back to the storyline outside of this. I think y'all took a detour, took a side mission. It's time to get back to the main mission, and that has to be some type of championship goal to run your waist and dominating the ranks. That's what I think, man.
Hit that
What
old
about you?
John Wall on
You know,
him. Yeah, ah.
got to most
Yes,
definitely.
Amethyst, you feel me? He got that. Razor, what's your last thoughts on the MFTs right there? Like, where do you feel they should be at, or you okay with where they at? Like Street said, they right where they need to be.
The sooner Tama Tonga, Noah, and even Tama Tonga leave that faction, the better.
Okay. Separation is needed. I can admit that because right before we seen Roman and the Usos come together, they all had their own careers. The Usos came up on their own ranks in the tag team division. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, had his own route to where he got to dealing with the Shield, past that post Shield. Big dog, my yard,
Yeah.
my yard. You feel
Dog
me?
food.
Dog. Oh yeah, that's nah. We ain't gonna talk about. Come on, dog. You almost got me there for a second, right? Like you see that streets? He almost got me. Streets. He said
I
dog
should.
food. Yeah, he said dog food. Chad, we ain't gonna do
I
that.
had
Right?
to make her pay attention. I had to see where you was
Yeah.
at real quick.
Oh man. Let's get to the. I'm not gonna lie. For me, let's move on to the most hype part of the night because I truly, genuinely want to see what you guys thought about it. Sami Zayn came out to the ring. Trick Willie come out, baby. You hear that song? Like, come on, man. You cannot deny the greatness. And he ain't come by himself though. No, no, no. He came with a
Came with
special
a little, came
guest.
with a little boat, a little yachty. You did came out there looking cold, head to toe, doing their thing, and he, steals the show like he does everywhere he goes. They can't deny him.
Bars. Bars. Ain't go over
Bars.
my head. Bars. Bro, I love the dynamic. Like, yo, little Yachty, I didn't expect for him to be this good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna, like, I don't care what nobody said. Kill me in the chat. Go ahead. I don't care. I thought Lil, and this is not, I don't want to pick on Travis Scott today. This ain't pick on Travis Scott day. I could point out Offset when he was on Raw a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I like how somebody in the WWE had faith and gave Lil Yachty the mic. Like he's really in there with Trick Williams. Like, you know what I'm saying? But let me correct myself because I said Sami Zayn had came out. He was going to come out. He was backstage talking, and then Trick Williams stole the spotlight from him. Stole his pyro as well.
Oh yeah,
Woo!
man.
I
That's
don't ever think
trash.
I don't ever think I've ever seen that before. Somebody came out. Not only did he flex on you with
Mm,
a rapper,
mm.
he stole your very first pyro that you've ever had. He steals it for himself and says, "Hey, you know what? I'm on the spotlight. These lemon pepper steppers are more fit to be wearing the title and having the spotlight shine down on him. And matter of fact, I think I need pyros. Hit Sami Zayn's pyros." And it was just a really dope promo, man.
It really, okay, bro.
Ooh, he was going crazy, man. And
You
he
say the
does it.
promo. I like how Lil Yachty was just throwing ad libs.
Oh yeah.
What? If? Where? How? Like
Yeah, he was
he
killing it.
on point. I give it to
Well,
Little Yachty, bro. I give it to him. It didn't feel like
And I'll say this too, we see a lot of rappers, we see a lot of celebrities come in.
yes,
Over the years, from when I was a kid up until now. Yachty did his thing. He definitely played his part when it was time to get out the ring when Trick Williams got clotheslined over and Sami Zayn went to looking at him. He wasn't fumbling to get out the ring. He stepped out with poise. He stepped out like he knew what he was doing and got out the way. And then when it's time to get on that mic again, he was right there on point doing his thing. So, like I said, I think that overall, Yachty was a dope additive to the show. And I hope they bring him back, especially with WrestleMania coming right around the corner. I think that they could bring in a lot of viewers like they're doing just by putting Yachty right there in front of everybody. W Yachty, man. What do you think, Razor?
okay, so I may be jumping up just a quick 30 seconds or so, but Age, I like to make a apology to Mr. Lemon Pepper Stepper, the dude Petty King Trick Willie. If you recall in the previous show, a year and change ago, when he first debuted or prior to debuting, him and his partner in crime, we had talked about their emergence to the main roster, and we had presented some concerns of the said transition. Well, I stand before you on Friday, the 3rd of April, in the year 2026. I was wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong about Trick Williams. Put the damn belt on him yesterday for crying out loud.
man. I can't agree with
Beautiful.
you more.
It was amazing. It's like just his emergence from his debut to now. It's almost like he just flipped it overnight because
Yeah.
maybe NXT was just too big, too small for him, but he needed a bigger canvas to paint with. He is excelled and then some.
Yes, bro. I agree with that because this is a different Trick Williams than we've seen in NXT. Or that I've been watching the last year when
Very.
he was in TNA, NXT. He's going back and forth. Like, we knew he's money. We knew he possesses talent on the microphone and in the ring. But like you said, seeing it on the main roster now, baby, this is different. What Roman Reigns said about everybody else before, you only in one position. You giving them the same thing every night, baby. No, this is
Right.
different.
I cannot wait for when they go. I cannot wait for when those two lock horns. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. Spoiler: no, they
Mm,
put on the dot.
mm. I kind of agree with Streets. I want to see more of Yachty. I know this is WrestleMania season. I hope this bleeds into SummerSlam actually with the Yachty stuff because I feel like it goes with what Trick Williams is doing. Like he's wearing a white mink. He's coming out in the lemon pepper steppers, and you got one of the top rappers, songwriters with you right by your side, wearing white with you, on the mic with you, getting crazy with you. Hell, you fell down and he went and picked you up. Yeah, we need Yachty around. Yeah. Yeah, cause I agree with what Street said. We see other rappers, and it's like their presence in. I'm not even trying to body shame nobody. We ain't doing none of that. What I'm saying is, aesthetically, you see these guys in the ring, they look like they don't belong. I didn't feel that way with Lil Yachty tonight at all. Like down to the entrance, he was on the spinning platform with Trick back to back. Like, it's like like if they've done this before. It's kind of crazy.
Cinema.
Exactly. And then that pretty much set up what we gonna see going forward for the rest of the night, because then we get Carmelo Hayes coming out. You know what I'm saying? And he's staking his claim for a rematch. And basically, his point is a bit valid as to where he feels he would have been walking into WrestleMania if it wasn't for Trick Williams' interference. So, in long story short, Sami Zayn kind of got bullied into giving a rematch. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, it's like
You know,
the
talking
crowd
like
is
that,
bro. The crowd was booing Sammy, bro. Let's be real.
man.
That's
They
the first
were.
time I
St.
seen Sami Zayn get
Louis
booed.
was St.
We baby. Say it again, brother. We can't hear you, champion.
They said anybody but you, Sammy.
Yeah, all right. So before we move on to the next segment, because eventually Sami Zayn caves in. He says yes to the rematch. That's the main event of the evening. But what'd you feel about Sammy's positioning right now? Like, it's quite clear that Trick Williams is the fan favorite going into this. Does this hurt Sami Zayn? Streets?
No, I think it
No.
plays right into his character.
Okay.
I think that when you seen Melo kind of hurt in the corner, instead of being an honest champion, you wait till the perfect opportune time to get him, whether he's ready, aware, down, hurting or not. You're doing anything you can to claw your way to the top and remain the champion. And I think that those boos are exactly what we're going to see more of as we go forward. If they don't put the belt on Trick Williams, I'd be surprised because he's definitely on the come up right now and one of the rawest draws that the WWE has right now. Besides Obafemi, who else is they're chanting his song when he comes out? What that trick? What that trick? He's doing the
Uh,
TV shows, he's doing the
uh,
interviews. You can't help but to love his whole persona. So if you don't put the belt on him, you're kind of crazy. But I think that will also just make the crowd boo Sami Zayn even more and will play into the role that I think they're about to try to push him into. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Raise, I'll let you take it from here.
I mean, again, you got to put the belt on him. But as far as Sammy, it's like it must be nice being Cody's friend.
Mm.
Why else would he get this much airtime? But as far as that, it's like I hate to say this. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but KO, you got to finish the job, finish your food, take him out. You got to go.
I guess my thoughts here
Something got to happen.
are we purposely keeping Carmelo and Trick for SummerSlam? Or like, do they feel like Carmelo is not ready for this moment here? Like, there's more between. Like, I kind of feel like they've been hesitant. Like, we keep seeing these guys say, "Oh, we have history with each other," but Carmelo's just not in that picture right now. And I think me personally, I would, as a person that watched their comeuppance in NXT this year, especially, I would have appreciated to see them go one on one in Trick Williams' debut year on the main roster. To be honest, like I think they're kind of dropping the ball on that moment if they're not going to go in that direction. From
I'll
what
tell
it
you exactly
seems
what they're
like,
gonna do.
yeah. Talk to
They're
me,
gonna
Josie.
piss that away. They're gonna piss that away for Italy.
That's where Backlash at.
Yep. Or I know no, that's where Flash is, but I don't know where Backlash is. But it's gonna be a, one of those random overseas B shows, and that may be a main event for that, or maybe a show opener. But nothing more than that. which is a shame because that match, that program alone, is WrestleMania worthy because of the history.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could roll out a whole video package of these two guys together, everything they did in NXT, and it's like we just gonna really go down. I mean, and listen, the whole for Trick Williams is gonna be different, but the whole giving people the WrestleMania moment and just winning any championship, I think it's the same trope. Like I want to save that for another episode, but I was kind of touching on this with Razor in the text message streets, to where I feel like if you look at the lineup of how the matches are constructed, I want somebody to argue me that these are different from the Vince regime era, and to arguably say that you're doing it worse than the Vince regime era is crazy.
It's
And
funny you
I'm
said
willing,
that.
yeah, like I'm willing to give it a shot, but it's kind of crazy how we feel like we're moving backwards when we should be moving forwards a bit. Like,
Well, my take on that is maybe they're saving it for a bigger event. Obviously, maybe right now Trick Willie is on his come up. They maybe needed him to get a little bit more hot. They need him to get a little bit more fans up underneath him and really chanting and getting with what he's doing, right? And then since you already have the gold around Carmelo, you've already put him out there. He's battle tested. He's ready to go. You put him in a match maybe at SummerSlam. Now you got some time to build it. Now you got some time to make it really worth something, and you're not just rushing it. So I don't agree with you guys on that one. I think that
okay,
that they still have time. And maybe that they're saving this moment for something maybe way bigger, maybe a cage match. Maybe we haven't seen him in a ladder match, or something really crazy. You never know what the WWE, could pull out. But I think it would be cool to see them go over the top with it. Maybe not even just a regular wrestling match, but some type of stipulation, whether that be a cage match, hell in a cell, ladder, whatever. I think that they'll steal the show and go real crazy with that one. So I think only time will tell, and I think we'll see. But I think they're saving that for a bigger moment in time.
yeah, I definitely I could see that happening as well. Let's breeze by the next few matches because I personally felt like you know they were the matches of the night that were to bring down a little bit. Like we had the high spot right there, the segment with Trick Willie. So the next match was Aleister Black and Matt Cardona. I do feel like the match was good. Like it was all right. Nothing's gonna, we already got all the matches locked in for WrestleMania, so this is just to me filler on the card. Good match. We got the women's tag match with Lyra and Bailey versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Pretty much setting more story up for that tag team match that's gonna take place on WrestleMania. But then we get some stuff right here, the men's tag team match. I think this is where things started to get a little funny for me, and I could appreciate the Danhausen signing. We get Damian Priest, which he got his old entrance back from when he got the championship. You see the blur in the screen, then it focuses right back onto him with the championship. He's doing his pose. R-Truth comes out, and then we get the unlikely pairing of Kit Wilson and The Miz. Now, there was some other things that transpired backstage, but I think the funniest part of the match to me, and we was talking about this off air, people are a little critical of the Danhausen, like, oh, what's the purpose of him? He's not this, he's not that. But I think visually, for me, seeing him in this role tonight, he's like, I don't want to call him, but you see what our truth is, right? I don't want to call him the replacement, but that comedy role, they just inserted him into that right in front of us. We seen him trying to go for the tag on the Miz. The ref is like, "What are you doing? You can't get that." Who would do that on the roster? All truth.
Very true, man. And I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was one of those people who was like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Now I get it. And I think I was starting to get it last week. It's cool. It's a way of just taking something so small and making it larger than life. Something that's so funny, like you're not in the match, but being tagged in, and then the crowd popped and went crazy, and then him cursing somebody, the referee gets in the way. So now
The
you're
ref
starting.
sold it.
The ref sold it with the 1, 2,
Not
with the
my
hand,
hand.
my hand, the hand cramp, man. And again, the crowd laughs. They go bananas. It's all great entertainment. I love it. And obviously, I can't wait to get a Danhausen T-shirt now and go support to see where this thing goes. At first, and I like I said, I thought it was gonna be like Doink the Clown or something real cheesy or corny, and it's actually kind of funny and it's starting to grow on me. So W Danhausen, man. You guys have any comment housings before we move on?
Razorhausen.
See,
Razorhausen.
see, Danhausen, we support you. Please get this curse off of me. I would highly appreciate it. Thank you kindly. I will give you more
That's
money.
that's funny.
And I want to go on record. Like, I can't be fickle, right? Like, we ask, well, me, I'm gonna speak for myself. I ask for these things where I want more characters in wrestling. Something, cause we already got the main event scene. What it's looking like. We already got the mid card, the lower tier matches, whatever the development, whatever you want to call it. But this is the fun stuff. This is the stuff we get to laugh about. This is the stuff that families get to enjoy. The
Yeah.
kids, the parents, everybody, right? It's fun for everybody. So I think there's a place for stuff like this on wrestling, and I did think it made the match more palatable. Actually, like if you're telling me I was just gonna get Damian Priest and Truth versus Miz and Kit Wilson, I'm pretty sure it'd have been a good match. But it became a funnier match, a match that we're taking more time to talk about tonight on Off the Hip. So I think it was a
And then,
W.
H, like I told you earlier previously, especially with Danhausen, we look at Truth as almost like the benchmark for the comedy act. Well, who would be the one A for Truth? The Miz. You got Danhausen with the two heavy hitters. See if he can flow. So we see if he's actually worth the investment or just a one trick pony. So good job for him so far. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Yo, what up, Patrick?
But as for the fun stuff, as for the fun stuff, let's be honest. It got a very fast ending after that pinfall. So let's get back to the grown folk stuff. The main event, as you put it, HD.
Yeah, we could get into that. Oh, y'all want to talk about the Cody stuff when he came out and grabbed the mic, started talking about Pat? Or y'all
Oh,
want to
of
go right into the
course.
main? You want to talk about the Cody? All right.
Cody, real quick. Before we do that,
Uh-huh.
though, I
After
want to
after he
say this.
smoked Kit Wilson.
I want to
Yup.
say this. I think that Danhausen might mess around and have the number one Halloween costume this year. Come 2026, wow.
Oh yeah.
Halloween 2026, we're gonna see. But yeah, let's get into this. This heel Cody is what I want to call this part of the segment we're about to go into because I personally believe we're starting to see heel Cody. I don't think that Stephanie's message last week was by coincidence. I think that we're starting to finally get Cody becoming a heel. He's talking about the brown hair, and there's a lot to peel here. So, HD, what are your thoughts on Cody's segment tonight?
I give him the A for the effort. I didn't really like all the like name calling on Pat McAfee. It just I don't know. It just heel Cody doesn't feel like in WWE like people I think are clamoring for a heel Cody there, but I think like to me what I seen on the in Japan from him where he gets the curse and put middle fingers up and just make whatever kind of content like he has some funny memes and gifs during his time on the indies like the referee tried to fuck on me. Like I
Well,
doubt he'll be able to get
that, that,
away
that,
with
was, that
that.
was a story about Ted DiBiase Jr.
But these are things that he was able to get to say outside of WWE. I don't think like we're gonna get that version of Cody if he turns heel. I hope to be wrong because I would want to see heel Cody. But all the actions he's taking tonight, I feel like I've seen him take these kind of actions in the past where people are pushing him. He did all those nasty things to Kevin Owens. He turned it up a notch on Kevin Owens, on AJ Styles during that time period. We've seen people try to poke him to being a heel. I want to see it. I need to see it to believe it. It's one of those matters for me. Cause they've been teasing this for about a year or two now. Like,
Maybe we're finally gonna get it.
yeah, man.
Maybe
Razor,
we're finally.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, you think Cody's close to turning heel?
Well, he kind of hinted in his promo, which he does not have that guy anymore. He's a father now. He's got two daughters. He's trying to think of how his children react if he were to go down that road. But at the same time, say if he does go heel, like I don't want it to be forced like what we're trying to do right now, where he hit all the greatest hits, the dark hair, the very narcissistic, almost DiBiase-esque. I'm the rich guy. I got more money than you. My wife's harder than you. That whole gimmick. Uh, it's not him. So I don't know where to go with this. This felt like it was just there. It was funny, but that was nothing more than just that.
It might be even similar to a Cena, how folks wanted to see Cena become heel, and when we finally got it, his promos were kind of like, nah, Cena, like we know now
Exactly.
you got to commit to it because you're already there, but like this ain't really it. And then they quickly turned him back. That's what
I
I'm
ask.
afraid of with Cody.
Like that never happened.
I'll ask you guys this: does Cody Rhodes have to dye his hair brown to become a heel, or can he keep the blonde hair
I think he
and
could keep the
still
blonde.
be a heel?
Me personally, I seen Ric Flair be a heel with the blonde hair. It's even better because now when you get busted open, their hair turns red, like you see color.
Well, the reason I ask is because he's a big draw. People sing his music. Even my daughter, she's whoa. The pyro goes off. You're there. So what would they have to do to make him more acceptable as a heel? Because he come out, is he still gonna tap the ground and be a heel, or would he have to change his music? Would he have to dye his hair a different color, or would he have to change his clothes and
I
maybe
mean,
change his outfit and change his colors?
he got to bring his wifey out there with him. She gets natural heat. She gets natural heat. Like in AEW, she was getting heat.
I don't know. For Monday, she may get a bigger pop than Roman.
Oh, Razor, be careful now, Razor.
Mm.
Be careful now,
This man just turned
Razor.
into T-Pain. I don't know what you said.
They know they trying to cut him off from saying some more madness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The
They cut
tribal
the
universe is
airways.
speaking right now.
Who told you it was open mic night?
Yeah, I
It's
think you
funny.
give Cody a group of his own, have his wifey out there with him, keep the bus, right? Nobody could get up. This is me and my crew. We don't change with the boys. We don't
Mm-hmm.
roll around with the boys. Like he got all the makings for it already.
Yeah, man.
But like Razor said, we don't need this watered down bullet point. We giving you what to say and you're being generic with it either though. We don't need that. We need you to be edgy. We need you to be like, oh wow, Cody Rhodes really said that? Nah, Cody ain't say that. He didn't talk about somebody's family member. He didn't
Maybe
go there.
maybe we need him to go there. Cody, I know you're watching, brother. I know you're watching. You need to go there.
He could
Call
go
us.
there.
Hit us up. We got you, but you need to go there. You got to
You
talk
need to.
about people. You got to hit them with some low blow lows, some chair shots. You got to make some people bleed. You're going to have to get down and dirty. It's going to have to get ugly out there. If you want to be able to carry the company, you seen how Roman had to do. You got to smash them all. You got to
Mhm.
forget about everything and everyone and only focus on one thing, being at the top and having that championship gold around your waist. Period. And I think that here in just a moment, we're about to see a different side of Cody Rhodes.
I would hope so, cause I think everybody right now, for the most part, that with the exception of Roman Reigns, everybody could use a fresh coat of paint. Like
Yeah,
we
it's
need to
time.
see some more dynamics and character shifts, more storyline arcs. Like for the most part, it feel like these characters been stuck in like a stagnant emotional time loop where their characters don't aspire for nothing more. They're okay just being where they're at. Like we need prominence behind why things are happening. Why is this happening? What's the purpose?
Hmm. I
So
agree.
What
if
happened to
Cody
being
turns,
selfish?
yeah, like if Cody turns heel, I would like it to have been behind the premise of like, let's say, okay, now the authority is out, or whatever the case may be, and they really got to him like, yo, you really tired of doing things the hard, like just some way that they broke through to him, like whatever it is, like yo, you want to like you said the family thing, right? Yo, we can make life so much easier for your wife and your daughter. We got the power to do that.
Hmm.
Nah, instead, The Rock want to come take his soul last year. And then we got Pat McAfee this year questioning his leadership in the landscape of where wrestling is going, how he ruined it. But we could move on because we're going, like you said, Streets, we're gonna see that play out during WrestleMania. Right now, everything
Hmm.
is pretty much speculation. Let's get on to what actually did happen. We get the main event of the evening: Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes in the rematch for the United States Championship. And ultimately, another good match here. But Sammy comes out as the victor. Trick Williams comes out after Sammy wins. Sammy got the heartfelt, I won. Trick Willie just comes and cleans house. I was really surprised by the results of this match. Like I thought it would have went to like some kind of draw. I didn't think it was gonna be a decisive finish exactly because I'm like, if they give Carmelo the belt, that's too much bouncing back and forth between the titles, like last week, this week. So I'm like, maybe they'll come to a draw to make this a triple threat match.
I didn't think so, to be honest with you, H. It's time to give Trick Willie and the Lemon Pepper Steppers some championship gold. He steals the show. It's just that time. Timing is everything. And I think that what they're doing with Sami Zayn is cool, but it's becoming stale. And Trick Williams is like everything the WWE is looking for right now in a superstar. Somebody who's good on the mic, somebody who has the physique, and somebody who can actually wrestle and get down. And I feel like he's the total package as far as that's concerned. You got a big pay per view coming up. Put the belt on him, see where it goes. And again, I keep saying, I feel like at some point they're going to bring Kevin Owens back. They cut a little promo, if you saw that, with Kevin Owens at one point. So you never know. It might be some stuff they're trying to give us in a hidden message. But again, not getting too far off subject, I think that Trick Williams deserves the gold, and hopefully they don't miss the mark on this one. Razor, my brother, do you think he deserved gold, or do you think that Sami Zayn should keep it?
Well, you said a key phrase there, and before I touch on that, H, little deep cut for you. What was the legendary Hall of Fame Lex Luger's nickname in the WWF? The Total Package. Trick Williams is just that. JR famously called Randy Orton a five-tool player. If you could mold a superstar from the ground up, you get Randy Orton. Well, guess what? In this current model, you get Trick Williams.
Mm. Man, it's hard to argue what you guys are saying. I'm on point. I do think, pardon me, I do think that he deserves that moment. Like, whether it's fast or not, like, it's proven. First night on SmackDown, got the reaction, was great on the mic, and he pretty much made his presence felt. And his presence has been felt up until this point. The crowd loves him. We love him. He's doing great out there. So I don't see why not. Honestly, I was just kind of surprised that like all of a sudden it's kind of like I don't know if it's WrestleMania season, if they feel Sami Zayn is the bigger name, or like maybe like we saw about earlier, they want to save Carmelo Hayes and Trick for a later time. But I thought it would have been a special moment, like with what what Carmelo Hayes was doing with the U.S. belt, for him to walk into WrestleMania as a champion. And even if he dropped the title, it would have been to somebody he came up with in Trick Williams. So I'm just curious to see the Unreal when it comes out and over the summertime, what's going on during this time period. You know what I mean?
Oh, brother.
Yeah, most definitely. He said, "Oh, brother."
But that's pretty much the 3 hours of SmackDown. I didn't really think that the matches held up, but the what they were building, I go with what they were building. When it came down to match time, I was just like literally, I'm not even gonna lie. I had to do something during the women's tag match. I stepped outside for a second. I came back in. The match is still going. I'm
I
like,
think
it's
I
crazy.
think that they were more focused on just building the storyline for WrestleMania, getting stuff out there, kind of setting the tone for each match, because they are adding a lot of matches last minute. They are creating a lot of content for us, because they have 2 nights. So I think they're just trying to make sure that they focus on making sure it all makes sense, or that it all has enough to sell. And because you want to you want to do better than you did last year, right? This is Vegas all over again, so you want to see it. It's supposed to be bigger and better. So I don't think they're focused on the matches at this current moment in time, and they're more focused on getting to WrestleMania and making sure that it's a good story, and everything lines up the way they need it to keep going further. And
Yeah,
what are your
I
thoughts on
could
that?
definitely see that. And like I said, the build up to me, the build up, I see the build up. The build up was fine. I could see y'all laying down the foundation for everything that's going forward. And I'm looking forward to what's going to happen on Monday night. It feels like I'm watching two different kind of like Raw is constructed one way, and SmackDown's kind of like it has its moments where it could be really good or really slow. Like it feel like it really drags on since they added this third hour back. But let's take this chance to roll out to the comments. Streets, if you got anybody out in your comments, we can shout them out. I see Amethyst out there. Shout out to Amethyst over here on our
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Shout out to Patrick Goodship. Shout out to SOB. They actually asked the question. They said, "Who is y'all's favorite wrestler these days?"
For me, it's the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the proverbial Cena when Cena was going against Roman. He's telling them, "I'm still here because y'all can't do your jobs."
Most definitively.
Valid.
I rock with my dog Jacob. 4, 2. Yeah, I mean. I got
Yes,
to. That's
sir.
my dog. I rock with Jacob Fatu, man. Of course, got to put the ones up with Roman. He's definitely doing his thing. Um, I really like Obafemi right now. What he got going on. I really like Trick Williams' whole persona. What he got going on. I really like Jade Cargill as a wrestler, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like what Jade got going on. I think she's like the perfect mold of a female wrestler to me. I like what she got going on. Um, there's a few people, but those right now are the main ones that's kind of standing out to me for sure. Anybody else? HD.
Yeah,
It's
Amethyst, that OTC. That's what we talk about right there. Yes, sir.
The only.
Trick Williams. You already know. Trick,
With
Trick Willie. Trick Willie, yeah, for sure.
any
Hey,
last
but
thoughts, Razor, that you got over there? Going into next week, what you feel
Let's.
might happen on Raw?
Well, before we touch on that, I'm not sure if you guys were aware. Tomorrow is NXT Stand and Deliver, so that show usually was the same weekend of WrestleMania. With WrestleMania not being 2 nights, that got bumped to an earlier date. But I guess supposedly, H, one of your favorites, Mr. Johnny Saintface, is in a marquee match for the NXT North American title, and he claims Johnny Wrestling is back. Oh, brother.
Who's for the you said for the North American? And who's the
Yes,
champion?
sir.
Miles Bourne.
It might be Miles Bourne, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano. Yo, I appreciate you. You gave me a high five when I was at SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? Look forward to what you gonna do tomorrow, but I don't think he gonna win. And yeah, I mean he might be on the way out. I wouldn't be mad like his tag team partner left. Like I don't know. They're about to send him back down to NXT. Like
Might be his time.
do
But
appreciate. I do
I'm
appreciate
waiting
it.
to see if we're gonna call it Miss Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Night after Raw. Night after Mania, excuse me. On Raw. Miss
Yep.
Parker.
Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
It's a lot to look forward to. We got what day is WrestleMania? April 18th and 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about
In
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Ooh wee. Chat, I hope y'all buckled up and ready for the ride. We here.
Yeah.
We gonna be here after WrestleMania is done. Give us our 15 minutes to set up the studio, and we gonna be right here with y'all. We gonna be locked, loaded, ready to shoot them things off the hip, y'all. Yada I
Yeah.
mean, like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Stop playing with them, man. It's off the hip, y'all. Know what it is, man. Take one more for y'all right there. Toast up.
Toast up.
It's been a good night, y'all. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Amethyst, I appreciate you always. Anybody that's watching that haven't commented, we appreciate y'all always. We encourage y'all to like the stream, comment, repost, share with your friends. Put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook. If you see our clips on TikTok, go follow over there. Go do it all, baby. Because you doing it all, we going to do the most then. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Let me
yeah,
say this too.
Yeah.
If you came in late and you happen to miss the show, go back and give it a listen on Spotify. We're gonna have that, and it will be on my YouTube, HD's YouTube, and everywhere else. So be sure to tap in with us because we coming off the
Hit. Come on now.
out there. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Much love, Chad. Y'all want to keep the conversation going. Y'all know where to find us. We gonna log out and get this thing going.